everyone, it's John from What Up, and welcome back to another video. Now, we had a little bit of a surprise today, and that was Amazon Prime released another teaser for the Wheel of Time. However, they didn't really advertise it, at least not at the time of filming this video, but a bunch of people noticed it on the Prime app, and it kind of circulated around. Now everyone's watching it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a few still images from that particular teaser, and we're going to talk about it just a little bit because it does show us some new information. Now, if you're new to the channel or you don't know what I do here, I cover Wheel of Time news, so click the subscribe button and the notification bell. I cover 1 to 2, maybe sometimes as many as 3 videos per week, and they're all Wheel of Time on Prime centric, and when the show drops, you're going to get a ton of content from me. I'm going to break everything down multiple times per episode, so don't worry about that. There is going to be no drought after November 19th. Now, I know a lot of you are wondering about the 10,000 subscriber contest. I did choose a winner, and stay tuned at the end of this video for that winner's name. And all they have to do is contact me and give me their contact information, and I'll ship it off to them. So hopefully they're watching this video because I don't really have any other way of contacting them. I have their YouTube screen name, and that's about it. All right, all of that being said, spoiler warning, in this video, we're going to talk about the teaser that Amazon just dropped for Wheel of Time. So if you haven't read at least book 1 of the Wheel of Time series, that's The Eye of the World by Robert Jordan, be forewarned, I'm going to ruin major plot points and character arcs from that novel. All right, let's get on to the video. All right, so the teaser is entitled Maureen's Journey, and you can find it on the Prime Video app. So if you're a subscriber to Prime Video, which I think most of you watching this channel probably are, considering the show's coming out in less than a month, you just go there, you search Wheel of Time. There's an episode 0 right now, which is a first look, and then below that is Maureen's Journey, a teaser. Now, as of the taping of this video, so when I sat down to record this, the Twitter account, the Instagram account, the Facebook account haven't really tweeted it or advertised it in any way, shape, or form yet. So that's the Wheel of Time account, Prime Video account. It's not out there just yet, although it is available to watch on Prime Video on the app. So maybe it's out there everywhere now by the time you're watching this, but if you're a Prime Video subscriber, you can go see it. So I pulled some stills from it. We're going to discuss some of the things in the stills because there is some new stuff there, and surprise, surprise, there's some foreshadowing, which I really like. I like the fact that they're doing that, considering that Robert Jordan was huge on foreshadowing through the entire series. Now, this first still I pulled up here is the 3 boys, and it looks to be in Emond's field, and from the looks on their faces, I can only assume they're discussing women. Rand's probably talking about Egwene from the look in Perrin and Matt's face. That's how I imagine them whenever they discuss Egwene or any other women, because every one of them seems to think that the other two know way more than they do. Their costumes themselves, I'm a sucker for these costumes. I really am. I love all of the costuming so far. I think it's fantastic. I think it looks really nice. I know some people aren't fans, but look at Matt's overcoat, his undershirt, the way he's kind of chewing on his sleeve, his disheveled hair. That, to me, screams Matt. I'm kind of sad to see Barney Harris go after the first season, him being recast and whatnot, because he certainly, in my mind, embodied Matt. But the costume is Matt, as far as I'm concerned. And you get Rand's sweater, 100% homespun. That is something that looks like maybe Tam or him made themselves, or they traded for in the village. I really, really like the costumes. Then we have a couple of stills of Moiraine that we're going to go through here. This one is new, but it appears to be in the same vein as a lot of the other promotional material we've gotten, and that is in and around episode 6 when they see the Waygate. And some people have been asking on my last couple videos, is that a Waygate? Are we sure it's a Waygate? Are you positive? 100%. Production has confirmed it, metadata from photos, the release has confirmed it, and there was a lot of speculation beforehand, but the leaks also confirmed it. So yes, that is a Waygate. It may not be what some people expect, but it is 100% a Waygate. I like this picture here mainly because you get Rosamund Pike. She just looks tired. I mean, she does. She looks like she's dealing with these teens or young adults. I guess they're in their early 20s in the show, and she's just kind of fed up with them. That's the look I get here. I really like that. Then we get this. Now, these 2 shots I'm going to show you here, this one and this one here, they're not anything new. We've seen them in the teasers and other promotional material, but I just really like the landscapes. I'm a sucker for naturescapes, and I think that when they were doing scouting for those locations, they definitely should deserve an award of some sort, because the locations they shot on outside are all absolutely stunning, like just absolutely beautiful, and you'll see it a few times throughout this teaser. This is another one here. You have that stone bridge leading up to a cliff, and then you have someone on a horse on top of that stone cliff overlooking a giant valley. And it's just, if nothing else, I think the landscaping and the cinematography that they've shown us so far blows me away. I really do. Then we have this other picture of Moiraine. Now, we know this is in the Emond's field, probably right inside the village green, because we see the lanterns in the background and what appears to be if you compare it to some of the other images, I think that's the wine spring in the background. Correct me if I'm wrong, though, in the comments. Anything I say is incorrect. Absolutely correct me. But I believe this is probably an Emond's Field because it fits in with the Empire magazine stills and some of the other things we've seen in the teaser. And then we have a couple shots here. Now, this is of people in Emond's Field. At this point in the teaser, Moiraine is talking about searching for the dragon. Now, the whole teaser is built around mystery. Now, we know in the book series, and I said spoilers for the Eye of the World, we know in the book series that Rand is basically the Dragon Reborn very early on. And there's very little doubt in most people's minds, even in the first few chapters of the book. It wasn't really hidden. A lot of Amazon's promotional material seems to have been making it more hidden. So they're kind of pushing towards it could be any of the three boys or even Egwene, maybe even Nynaeve, according to some of the promotional material and the way they're starting to build things and talk about it. And I think that's for people who haven't read the book series before to watch the show. So it's not such not a surprise when it happens. I think they want to surprise some people at least with it. Of course, everyone has Google. Everyone can Google what's going to happen, and a lot of people probably will. But there will be the whole crowd of people that do not. So I think they're trying to keep it a secret, at least until the latter half of the season. That's my guess anyway. So this picture here shows some of the people in Emond's Field. Again, the costumes I really like, but there's a couple things here I want to take a look at here. The lady in the red and the gold. I believe that's Helena Westerman. Now, you folks can take a look at it and maybe tell me if I'm right or wrong in the comments down below. But I'm pretty sure it's Helena Westerman who's playing Lila Abera, rumored to be Perrin's wife. Now, not 100%, of course. It's hard to see in the teaser because it goes by so quick. It's hard to get a good screen grab of it. However, it does look like Lila Abera. And in the background, that is our first look at Fane's wagon. So you have Fane's wagon back there, and I believe the gentleman standing in the gray coat with the disheveled hair there is probably Fane himself setting up. We know he's in at least one episode, probably just one for the first season. That's what has been released pretty much. And we know we're going to see him in the first one, so I think that's Fane's wagon and Fane himself. Really, really neat to see that. A lot of people have been kind of wondering how they were going to show it, and I like the look of it. Then we have this shot here. Again, it's just a very nice, wide, sweeping shot. I wanted to include it because I like the landscapes. I think it's really neat to see. Then we have this. Now, this appears to be, and again, I think this is Wine Spring in the background, Emond's Field, the attack on Winter Night, because of the lanterns and the lights in the background. Now, we've had a lot of shots of this from the teaser trailer to promotional material to different things, and they all seem to show the same thing. This is another really good look at Rosamund Pike's ring. We know that the rings are now inlaid with the colors of their Aja in a big stone, so that is the Great Serpent around a blue stone. And the white lines in the bottom are her channeling the One Power. Now, we'll see that again later on, coming off of fire, but that's the way it looks like. And here, this looks to be, you see the torches in the background and what appears to be an enclosed area where they had Logain captured, I think, in some of the promotional material for Logain and the teaser trailer and things like that, when he kind of broke his shield and escaped and knocked Karine Nagashi on the ground. Now, I'm not 100%, of course, but I think this is what it is. And the way she looks, the determination, I think she's either holding the shield or she is doing something with the One Power towards Logain. That's my guess in this shot. Again, complete guess, but I love guessing and speculation. It's a lot of fun. This here, I mentioned foreshadowing. Now, this is a shot of what appears to be Perrin walking through a bunch of sheep, and the sheep are completely slaughtered in the shape of the dragon's fang. I love it. This 100% can foreshadow the attack on Winter Night and foreshadow the Trollocs and the Fades and the Shadow Spawn that are going to come into the town and basically slaughter the villagers and attack them. And I like the imagery, and I like the fact that it's foreshadowing. This is a small nod and an Easter egg to the fans. 100%. Someone who hasn't read the books would not know that's the dragon's fang. They would say it's just a bunch of mutilated corpses on the ground. But someone who's read the books knows what the dragon fang is and knows what it represents. Definitely will get that. And I love this. I really like seeing stuff like this. And that's followed by this. It's a shot of what I think is the Women's Circle ceremony. Now, we've seen various shots from the teaser trailer to promotional material of Egwene being thrown into a river by Nynaeve, her in a cave surrounded by other women from the Women's Circle and Nynaeve. And we think it's her Women's Circle induction ceremony, according to all of the leaks that WatchSeries.com reported on, and a lot of other little pictures and things we've seen. Now this, I think, is them walking up to that cave. Now that rock, the hole in the rock, is shaped like the Flame of Tar Valon, which, again, huge foreshadowing. I won't ruin it for you folks if you don't really know what it means, because I did say just spoilers for the end of book 1. But again, massive foreshadowing, a big Easter egg and a nod to the fans. It's stuff like this that I'm really excited for the show to give us, because I'll be making videos and I'll be like, yeah, this, that's that, and I'll be so excited when I do it. But again, we have Dragon's Fang, Flame of Tarvalon, really, really very neat. Now, we get a good shot of Shadar Logoth here, and we know this from promotional materials and the way things have looked so far. I like this city. This is a set they built, and it is eerie, abandoned, just creepy. I love the way it looks. That's followed by a few shots of different people. So we have Matt here, and then we have Rand, and they're all waking up from a dead sleep. And it talks about the Dark One. And I think these are all throwbacks to the book where we have the Dark One invading the boys' dreams. And basically, you know, giving them little hints and tidbits and talking about things and scaring them and kind of pushing them along towards the eye. I think that's what we're seeing there when they mention that. And then we get this shot here of the Cloaked rider on a cliff. Now, I don't know where this is in the series, but it's definitely a fade overlooking something down below. And I love the way they're framing these shots. I really do. And we have this. I mentioned this earlier. We see a fire. And again, this kind of, to me, looks like it's Emond's Field, because we have the lanterns in the background, lanterns above the fire. This is just fire that's on the ground, you know, strewn chairs and things around, and you see the white mist coming off the top. It's kind of hard to tell from this still, but it does move. And this looks to be the one power, Maureen channeling the one power during the attack on Winter Night and using the fire, using what's readily available around her in her fight, which I like that stuff. I think that's going to be absolutely stunning to see on screen. This one here, this is a good shot of Egwene and I think her mother. Again, hard to see from the still here, but they're running. They're on Winter Night. There's a few other shots of the actual attack on Winter Night, and I think it's going to look absolutely cool to be the end of a first season, end of the first episode. Again, I'm doing this all in one take here because I'm pretty excited, so I'm kind of mixing up the words a little bit, and I do apologize. But then we get this shot here. This would be, I believe, probably before Shadar Logoth, just after they leave the two, or before Shadar Logoth, after they leave the two rivers, because they're all still together. You have Perrin, Matt, Egwene, and Rand. And, of course, in the book series, you know that Egwene came along with them, and Rand was not super pumped about that because Egwene kind of gave him a hard time. And he just wanted to protect her and keep her safe and at home. He didn't understand why she wanted to come. You can tell by the look in her face that she's not super happy, and Rand is riding ahead and like off to the side of her, not next to her. So they're definitely not having a good time here. And Matt's just being Matt in the background. I think parents probably tell him to hurry up at that point. All right, a few other shots here. This, I would say, is probably before the events of Winter Night. This is probably Rand going to sleep. I'm going to say just before the farm's attacked. He blows out the candle here. It's a really nice frame shot with him leaning in with the boxed lantern, blowing the candle out. I like this one. That's why I included it. Now, these next two shots are of Shadar Logoth, and this appears to be Mashadar. Now, Mashadar in the books was a white fog. However, in the teasers we've seen and some of the other promotional material, it's a black kind of ooze. And I think the way that it's going to look on screen will look a little bit better that way. The change is probably due to the fact that when the Aes Sedai fight it with Sae'dar, it's probably going to be hard to tell if it's all white weaves, because everything we've seen so far has been white for the Aes Sedai, and we believe black for Logain and male channelers, but we've only seen a little bit of that, so it's hard to tell just yet. But everything we've seen from the Aes Sedai has been white, so fighting Mashadar will probably get a little complicated. I think the black pops a little bit more, and I think it makes it a little bit more creepy, in my opinion. We have this. It's basically covering the entire city. So this is going to be a bit different than the books. Now, in the books, they go there, they see Mordeth. Matt takes the dagger from the treasure pile, and that's how he becomes sick, and that's how the essence of Mordeth and Shadar Logoth get out into the world. I think at this point, he kind of makes the pact, and it releases everything, and it just comes out this way, because there is scenes of it covering the entire city. So I think that's what's going to happen there. Now, again, this is another shot what appears to be Shadar Logoth, because it is a dilapidated rundown town. And you've seen it in the thumbnail of the video. But over to the left there, Egwene and Rand standing overlooking the city. Again, something we didn't really see in the books, them off talking by themselves, overlooking stuff. But I think there's going to be a lot of shots like this that are going to differ just a bit from the books, that are going to be exposition dumps. I think they're going to be talking about certain things that maybe would be said inside the characters' heads in the books, but again, beautiful shot. I really like the way it looks. The post on this, I mean, they didn't build this entire set. A lot of that is CG, and it looks just like a real city to me, at least. I'm not a big fan of CG. I've said it before. I hate it, in fact, unless I can't really tell it's CG. And with this, it's fairly high quality. I like it. I'm impressed. Another really nice shot. There seems to be a lot of these wide sweeping nature shots. Shows Rand at the edge of a cliff and Egwene behind him, and then Perrin in the background. Now, Rand is wearing a sheepskin coat that we've seen in a few other shots that I kind of made fun of before. It looks like Macklemore, but I do like it. And I like the fact that he seems so natural with his blade, but he's already starting to brood just a bit. You know, we get brooding Rand a lot later on in the series. I think they're going to start this just a little bit earlier. Now this shot here, this is basically a bunch of blood on the ground, and this oozes into another shot of a tree line. I like the transition. I don't know if it's a dream or if it's going to be some kind of transition that they're going to use from shot to shot in the show from one scene to the next, but I really thought it looked cool on the screen. It reminded me a lot of The Shining, or maybe even some older Sam Raimi films like Evil Dead and stuff, where they showcased a lot of the blood, and that's how they use some of the transitions. Now, this here shot is of Perrin, and it looks to be at his forge. Now, there's lightning and rain in the background. He is at a forge, so I'm going to guess this is probably winter night. He's working at the forge when the Trollocs attack. Been a lot of rumors about him killing his wife on winter night. Again, take that with a grain of salt, not substantiated by Amazon. However, there's been a whole lot of leaks about it, and I think this might be part of that scene where he's just setting up the forge for the night. The rain, the thunder and lightning kind of mask the entrance of the Shadow Spawn, the Trollocs, and the Fate. This picture here, it's a bloody hand, and I included it because if you take a look at some of the background and stuff, I believe this is Matt. Reason being is because this sort of looks like that leaked still. Now, way back when, we're talking probably at least a year ago or more, there was a leaked still of Matt and Rand in what appeared to be a city of some sort, or a village. Now, we weren't sure if it was Terran Ferry or Shader Logoth or different places. Now, thinking now, I'm probably not Shader Logoth. This is probably a small village after the fact, after they've split up after Shader Logoth, considering some of the background doesn't match what we've seen of Shader Logoth. But Matt is a bloody hand here. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this might be a scene where they're attacked by Dark Friends and Matt has to defend himself, and he gets blood in his hands and he's just absolutely horrified. That's what I think. Because we've seen some other shots of him holding his hands out like this and kind of looking at them, but you couldn't really tell they were bloody, but you knew he had done something. And again, it was a studio shot, a leaked image, but I think this is the actual production still of that leaked image. Again, this is probably the attack on Winter Night. We're not seeing a whole lot of anything later. Now, I have not seen anything that I would say is episode 7 or 8 yet. We don't know the titles of them, and they're being very close to the vest with everything that happens in episode 7 and 8. I think everything we're seeing is from the first 6 episodes, and I think this one is probably from the very first episode. Again, most of the promotional material we're seeing all seems to be centered around the attack on Winter Night, Shader Logoth, so the first episode or 2. Now, this is the last shot I want to do here, and this is a shot of Shader Logoth, and there is a horse being overtaken by Mashadar, and this is absolutely horrifying. I mean, you take a look at it, it's like black ooze coming up over top of the horse. I really think they're going to go over the top with the horror imagery. Now, in Canada, it's rated 16. In the US, it's rated 14. Different parts of the world, it's rated different things, but I think that's going to be mainly for horrifying imagery and gore and violence. That's my guess, and I think we're going to get it. I mean, the horse dying like that is, to me, absolutely horrifying. Now, that's pretty much the end of the teaser and my thoughts on some of the stills and some of the things that are going on in it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What do you think? Do you like this? Are you surprised they haven't tweeted it out or put it on Instagram yet? And again, it may already be out there by now by the time you're watching this. However, it didn't come out right away. It was just kind of released on the Amazon Prime app, which seems to be a little bit par for the course for the marketing team. They seem to be really killing it in some aspects, and other aspects, the big misses. So let me know what you folks think in the comments down below. Really neat. I say it a lot. People are starting to make bingo cards of me, saying really neat, very cool. I really like it. I think it's awesome. Don't do it as a drinking game, though. You might end up a little more inebriated than you expect, because I do say those things a lot. Now, I did promise you at the end of the video that we're going to talk about the winner of this 10,000 subscriber contest, and that winner is Heather White. Now, Heather, if you want to contact me either any way you like, Twitter, Instagram, email, anything you like, the emails and the about of my channel. Let me know who you are. You can prove your identity to me, and I'll get those minifigures shipped off to you. They are still being created right now, so they'll be done very shortly, and I'm really excited to get them off to Heather. They're really very cool. Now, some of you are probably wondering about other contests. I will be running other contests, and a lot of people have asked about What Up t-shirts and swag and stuff like that. Right now, they're only available through my Patreon, so if you're a patron, depending on your tier, you'll either get a sticker and a magnet, a sticker, a magnet, and a keychain, or a sticker, a magnet, keychain, and a t-shirt. So that depends on your tier. Eventually, at some point or another, I may sell merch, although I know there's going to be some demand for it. I'm just not really set up to do that just yet. Hopefully in the near future, maybe I will. But right now, I will be running other contests and stuff over the coming months for t-shirts and keychains and stickers and things like that. Things that normally only are available to patrons. But if you'd like them early and you don't want to go through the hassle of trying to win a contest, the link to my Patreon is down below in the description box. Click there. Every little bit helps the channel. Lets me make more content, spend more time on this, and finding this stuff out for you folks, which I truly enjoy doing. So there's that. All right. All of that being said, thank you so much for sticking with me here to the very end, and here's to many more.